Hello, thanks for joining us today. We're here with my Tank 300 and we're going to be just showing you a little bit of, what we've been doing on it lately, all the different parts, suspension components, any new products we're bringing to the market, what I've done with my car currently. As you can see in the background, we've got the snorkel. Now, we work with an Australian company located in Queensland, Fabulous Fabrications, and they helped us get one of the sickest 5-inch snorkels available on the market for the Tank 300. Now, that's going to be available in February 2024, so get excited. You'll be able to order on savagetech.com.au. 5-inch snorkel, we've got the airbox. Now, behind me, we've got one of our body kits. When we first started this build, it was, I guess, more of a mall crawler. We aimed it just to get attention, and then I sort of went left field and went, you know what, let's see what this mall crawler can do. I was on 20-inch ATs and we ended up out at Springs, and we had a body kit on it, a lift, our nitrogen suspension lift, 20-inch wheels and AT tires, and we went up beer o'clock. I didn't do it. So I actually didn't drive the vehicle up. We had Lucas drive the vehicle up. Now, my wife didn't let me drive the vehicle that day because she's, every time I go out, I do silly stuff and get myself into all sorts of strife, and we end up being stranded. But that's all right. That's my wife, and you got to keep your wife happy. So I threw Lucas the keys. He took it up beer o'clock on 20-inch ATs with a body kit and a lift. Very basic setup. Worked really well. The car handled phenomenally. I proved that the other week. We were at Springs again, and I took Rico's car on 32-inch tires and AT tires with a lift as well up beer o'clock. Did it with ease. Twin lock vehicle makes cake of anything. We went out there, we did beer o'clock, we did a few climbs, I did a few fun things, and I thought, we need to start making it bigger and better. So we contacted a company in China about some portal axles. Now, we've been working with them to try and see what the weak points are. Yes, they're broken. Mate, what four-wheel drive on the market doesn't break axles? If you push the car hard enough. Doesn't matter if it's a Toyota, a Nissan, whatever you're driving, you'll break it if you push it hard enough, trust me. And so we decided to import a set of portals, and we've broken the axles and the gears. But it's all right, because next week I will be rebuilding the portals with extra strong gears, and we'll be tackling all the tracks around Queensland again. I might even go interstate, see what we can tackle. And the current axles in there have already been upgraded. So we've got chromoly half shafts in there. They do not break. Well, not yet anyway. They're strong. We're yet to find out the weak point, but they're definitely an upgrade from the aftermarket half axles we started with the portals. Because you need to replace the half axles when you upgrade the portals, because they're longer. They obviously sit out, so the axles need to be longer to go into the spline. So we snapped it off, blah, 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 and got it back, fixed it. And the other week, we've had a few outings and everyone's been sort of like, oh, you need a bar, you need a winch. Well, guess what? We've got the carbon, 15,000 pound carbon off-road winch, the Tank series. Now, mate, this winch is a monster. Got the orange matching hook. I'm gonna have to do my bash plates in orange because it looks a bit, look at that, red. But got the hook, orange hook, all wireless, all nicely mounted. I've got my little controller here. I'll get the camera guy to come over. You can see we've got the remote set up so that we can mount the remote wherever you want. So I just plug into there when I want to activate my winch. I'll pop the hood. So under the hood, we have sexy airbox. Look at that. An upgraded turbocharger that you cannot see because it's the standard housing down there. We've got a downpipe on there with a 300 cell high flow cat on it. Now, if we come over here, we've also just added to our website this battery isolator. It comes with a nice, sorry, not a battery isolator, a winch isolator. Comes with a nice 450 amp big breaker in there, fuse, so in case you ever did forget to turn this off, it's got an isolation switch. But if you ever did forget to turn it off and you manage to get in an accident or whatever, you're doing you're full driving and you hit something and the cable gets cut in the steel somewhere, set your car alight, well, you've got safety because you've got 450 amp fuse and it'll blow. Hopefully before your car burns down. So that's a new little product we sell, and you can purchase that at savagetech.com.au. You've got that. We've even got our new little, I've tidied up how I mounted it because the original video wasn't done very neatly. I've got the Savage Twin LED, so you can run a roof LED and a bull bay LED with two Deutsch connectors. You've got the full LED harness that integrates with the car and integrates it into your light switch. So it gives you all your outputs and everything. You can find that also on the website under, that's a little bit under the hood. We've got power, stage 3 tune on it, makes around 190 kilowatts at the hubs. Goes really well, this vehicle, considering the weight of it. Done some serious modifications. We'll get underneath and have a look at the suspension. That's the fun stuff. We've got our grill on here, we've got an upgraded intercooler, bull bar, flip number plate, full recovery points on our bull bars. Now I'll get this up in the air, we'll have a look under it. You can see the bull bar comes with this bash plate. Our underbody bash plates is these 3 pieces. You've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 bash plates. Now, you will see rust on mine. You know why? Because this is prototype. Everything on my car is prototype, and we just air freighted a set quickly in. All the new ones that the customers will receive will all be stainless steel, so will not rust. You can bash it and smash it and bend it, and it will not rust. Okay, you'll see under mine, I've definitely got some good scuff marks under here. There's a big gouge there. The camera probably won't pick it up. But we'll come under here and have a look. Got a gouge there. I've bashed all in here so you can see, even though I've got 35s on this and 4-inch portal axles and I don't know, depends on what week it is. I raise the car or lower the car, depending on if we're doing events and stuff. I generally run it at sort of 4-inch portals plus the inch lift. But depending on what we're doing, I sort of drop it down, play around with it, depending on what we're doing. But under here, you can see I've taken big gouges out of this. Now, under here, the reason we put bash plates is, if you come around here, you'll see the gearbox, the back of the housing. Now, that hangs behind the back of the little cross member here. And if you get hung up on that, that's a whole back of your transfer case, your gearbox gone. All right, so you don't want to do that. That's why we recommend bash plates if you're going serious full driving. It definitely protects everything. The new ones are made of stainless steels, so you won't have any rusting issues, and it'll be all powder coated black, okay? Here you can see we've got portal axles. Now, this is on an IFS front, okay? You got the portal here. So what that does is, it literally puts the center of the wheel down here. So that's how I've got a 4-inch lift without even touching the suspension. So it literally brings the drive shaft where it used to go into down here. So my wheel is bolting on halfway down. Now doing that doesn't affect anything to do with suspension, geometry, anything. That's the awesome things about portals. And once we're finished, you know, with this prototype, hopefully we can bring them to the market and there'll be an option for you guys to run portals because you do gear reduction and it's also a portal axle. So there's real big benefits to running portals in your vehicle, and it's very rare to see it on an IFS vehicle. So something new, something fun we're playing with, and hopefully we can bring it to market eventually. I've also got the electronic disconnect sway bar you can't see, but there's a little switch in the cabin that you can disconnect the sway bar. Now what that allows you to do is when you're full driving and you're climbing up stuff and one wheel goes up, normally your sway bar is always fighting against you and trying to pull the car back down and push the wheel back down to the ground. Now you don't want that when you're full driving. You want the whole car to be individual each side, nice to float up and down so it can make contact with the ground. So running an electronic disconnect sway bar, which we sell on our website, is a massive must for serious off-roaders that want the advantage. A lot of Jeeps and stuff already come factory with electronic disconnect sway bars, but we've added it to the Tank 300. I mean, it already comes with twin diff locks, and for, you know, a couple of grand, you can get a disconnect sway bar supplied and fitted in your Tank 300, and it's just another additional accessory to help you off-road. All right, so now we're at the midway of the vehicle. We've got the exhaust system that we've just released on the market. You can purchase that at savagetech.com.au. Now, it's going to be a 3-inch system, okay, and it's stainless steel with valves, vacuum valves. We've opted for vacuum valves because we've been doing a lot of testing and I've already made a couple of electronic valves fail going through salt water and rivers and blah, 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 and all the dust and dirt. So we've opted for the vacuum, and that will tap into the front vacuum lines of your vehicle, and it's all controlled. The coolest part about it all is you can shut your vehicle up from the comfort of your seat with 2 remote controls or a automatic feature where literally it'll be quiet all the time. So you press auto on the remote control, and when you're accelerating really hard, the valves will automatically open and let as much performance go because you want to get the air out as quick as, especially in a turbocharged car. You don't want any restrictions. You want the air to flow out as quick as possible, and our exhaust allows that with the valve. So you can have the best of both worlds. You don't want to wake your neighbors up in the morning with a droning exhaust, brr, driving down the freeway, brr. You've got your mother-in-law in the back of the car, and you don't want her, you know, complaining your car's a hoon car. So you just press the valve, quieten it up, Bob's your uncle, and you're on your way, okay? So you still get full stainless steel, as you can see here. And when you go through the ocean and any, you know, water tracks, you're not gonna get a rusty exhaust because it's all made of stainless steel. All right, so this one here, we will also be doing a front pipe. The front pipe is gonna be sold separately, this pipe here. And this runs up here. Now, this will delete the secondary cat that is not monitored, okay? So this pipe will be sold separately on our website. This is a different pipe to the one you get. The one you get won't be in this fancy heat shield. It'll be the same as this, and it'll mount directly to this, or you can run it with a stock exhaust. So you can run just the secondary cat delete pipe on a stock exhaust and just mount it in there and get the advantages of extra flow without doing the full exhaust system, okay? Another big advantage of our exhaust system is under here, is you've got this nice little flange here. Now this is a pivot head. So it literally allows you to articulate the exhaust wherever you want it to go. So we've got so much clearance under here because it's got a ball head here and a ball head here, and you can twist it and get it wherever you want it to go. Okay, so that's a big advantage of our exhausts, is they're not fixed. They're literally fully adjustable, okay? Now, spoken about the exhaust, you can order that at savagetech.com.au as well. The other part that I was in the middle of installing, I'll grab it, decided that I wanted my vehicle. I've been running these for a while. I've just pulled the old ones off and I've got the new ones going on here. All right, now, because I had the prototype ones on here before. These are a protector. Now, Rico, when we did Springs 4x4 about 5-6 weeks ago, we bent his whole rear trailing arm, okay? The whole thing was bent on his factory one because he hit it up against a rock trying to do a rock climb. The same rock climb that the little Suzuki did a backflip down the hill. So that was pretty scary, but Rico managed to get up it unscathed in his car, decides he just bent this rear trailing arm. These are a solid one, so a lot stronger, and they're adjustable. So they're stronger. I'll put them on my vehicle just so I do a lot of silly stuff. So hopefully if I hit it, it'll withstand a bit more than the OEM one. Now, the other thing is, this will protect your mount. So I'll mount these quickly. So I've already undone this bolt, and then we get a little stick, a bolt on a stick, sorry. Now this here, if you've worked on cars, you four-wheel drives, you'll definitely know what these are because most kits come with them. So that, you'll be able to stick it in from any hole in the chassis rail. There's like one there, there's one inside, there's holes everywhere. So you put wherever the closest hole is and you bend it. They've got little tabs on it, so you bend it down to where you want it. You hold it in there, and then you literally bolt straight up into there. Now mine's different because I've got our rock slider side steps on it. We've got a new model coming, but these are also mounted to the chassis rail. The advantage of having a rock slider on your car is when you hit it, you don't damage all your body or your cab. So we have those on our website, you can also order those. But I've had to take a notch out of this because when this mounts up here, you'll see it literally hits on the rock slider. So I've had to do a slight modification to make it work. Okay, like that. But that'll mount like that. And this is to protect this whole mount because when it hangs quite low. So when you're forward driving and you hit that and damage it, it's not good. And you'd rather just slide over something. So that'll just help it slide over instead of belting into the factory mount and damaging it. So that's on there now. Now I'll put the front nut on there. Put the front nut back on here. Do the nut up. Got my 22mm ratchet spanner. I'll just do this back up. Make sure that's mounted up there. Okay, so that's done up now. So you'll be able to do that on both sides. Now, we also sell the yellow one. I can't run it on my vehicle. Rear mount. So these will come in a kit. You'll get the two front ones and the rear ones for the rear trailing arm, okay? So this goes under the shock. You undo this, that will mount under there. This bolt here also will be undone, and that will mount up there and protect your whole rear. Now mine, because I've got portals, I've got this big additional bracket on here. that comes down, and I can't unfortunately get this mounted up there to show you what it looks like. I used to have it on my vehicle before I went portals, but that'll mount up using the factory bolts, and it'll just protect everything under here, even your shock eyelet and everything. So real handy thing to have when you're doing any rock crawling or anything. We'll have those on our websites, okay, all your underbody protection stuff. They'll come as a kit of 4, and we've got our rear trailing arm kit in here. That's it. We've even got, back of the vehicle, got one of the OEM tow bars. We also stock tow bars. But here you've got the 55 litre fuel tank that will be on our website shortly for pre-order, okay? So that's a secondary fuel tank. It sits really high up so it doesn't ruin any of your departure angle. But that's a little quick rundown of my rig. And I mean, we've even got spring retainers made up for the rear suspension because we've got longer sway bar links so that we can flex more when we're off-road. I've made up my own spring retainers to keep the springs in place and they won't fall out, okay? The other thing we've also got on the market, which is currently going to be in stock hopefully next week, is we've got longer springs. So the longer coil, you'll be able to run longer drop links. Now what that means is when you're articulating off-road, you'll have more traction on the road because when you lift your car 2 inches, you're not gaining any droop, you're losing it. So we do a longer spring that gives you a 2-inch lift, but it'll still give you an extra 2 inches of droop because our shock absorbers that we sell, all of them are 2 inches longer than the factory ones, which is a massive advantage, but you can't utilize the extra length until you go a longer drop length for your sway bar. But the problem is when you go a longer drop length, then your spring will fall out when you fall driving, which is very dangerous. That's why we've made up spring retainers, but I have so much weight, so I have to run a heavy duty spring in these. So I don't have at the moment a longer spring that gives me the correct height I want and the extra load capacity that I'm running in the vehicle. So in the future, I possibly will get rid of the spring retainers and I'll have just a longer coil, but most of the flex coils are too soft for what I want and it can't handle the additional weight in my vehicle. That's what I'm running with, and I hope that, clears up a few little questions everyone had. And if you need any information, savagetech.com.au. We're always here to help you. If you want to come out for a drive with us, peace out, have a good one. Savage Off-Road.